Hi, my name is Munchie, and I rescue and foster small animals such as hamsters, gerbils, and mice. Mainly, I am the hamster lady, so you get to see me popping up on your YouTube feed from time to time. And yes, I will be popping up in your feed if you are a guinea pig owner, because recently you guys have been stating you are guinea pig owners, but somehow come upon my videos quite often. But we all have something in common here, and that's our love of small animals. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. So this video is dedicated to a small dwarf hamster, which I think might be a dwarf hamster hybrid. Usually in the United States, nothing is ever a Campbell's Russian dwarf hamster. Everything has mixed genes in there, and or could actually in fact be a Campbell's Russian dwarf, which Petco and PetSmart still label as such, but I'm not entirely sure. We know for a fact that it's at least a dwarf hamster. And Jumbo, jeez, what are you? Jumbo, you just make the, oh my god. Jumbo. Jumbo. So today's intake story is all about little Ash here. So I was sent a message via my email asking if I could take in a hamster that they found wandering around outside in a box. And my first thought was, I am completely full. However, I have 2 emergency cages for hamsters needing quick relief from a negative situation. I have 18 foster animals, 17 of those being hamsters, 1 being a mouse. I have those all in my regular cages, so the 20-gallon long tanks are only temporary emergency cages, or just emergency cages in general. They are 360 square inches of floor space. However, in the hamster community, at least 450 square inches of floor space should be provided for hamsters in personal care and personal homes. For me, however, when there's a situation that says there's a hamster found outside, or a hamster doesn't come with a cage or a setup, that is an emergency situation. So I hope you guys can understand having a hamster that had nothing before being placed into a 20-gallon long for temporary purposes until one of my other hamsters moves on with its life, gets adopted, and then I can place that hamster into a bigger enclosure. But for right now, we just have 2 20-gallon long emergency tanks that are being not used. Well, one of them is now being used by Ash here. And so I was like, okay, I do have an emergency tank. I want to know your location. I want to see the hamster. And they provided me their location. It was within driving distance. It wasn't too bad, not too far away, because a lot of people don't realize that we don't really, for our adoption fees for the hamsters that we adopt out, we don't really ask people for a lot, and gas is really expensive, and we have a gas guzzler that we always have to seem to fill up our gas tank every couple of days, because we do drive out to our work, and our work is far away from our home, and then we have to drive back, and so on and so forth. So people don't realize how much money just going out and adopting and or rescuing a hamster is. And this hamster is friendly, because in the photo of the hamster, there was somebody holding the hamster, so we knew for a fact that it was able to be handled. So knowing that this hamster didn't have a home, was found in a box outside, I rushed over and picked up little Ash, which was previously named Wilson. So the story behind Wilson is, I don't want to say a bit of a mystery, but I happen to know possibly what happened, but I won't say it on camera just because the person does know me, and I understand situations can be rather tough and hard. Hello if you're watching. But I took in this hamster knowing that possibly it came from a happy home but just could not afford proper care and or could not afford to care for it at this time, and was making the right decision of trying to rehome it without being truthful, blunt, and honest with what was going on. I do appreciate them contacting me because they know who I was. They saw me and recognized me from YouTube, as well as they contacted one of my Craigslist ads knowing that I rescue and intake these hamsters and I provide care for them. So without me being in the area, because I'm only in one area, and I know there's plenty of people asking me all the time to take in hamsters from out of states that I cannot get to, and I cannot take in all these requests to look at this hamster, check out this hamster, post this, post that. It gets very overwhelming, so I have to be very selective of like what I share and or if it's affecting me, or just try to make a general public post about, hey, check out the hamsters in your area or the animals in your area, see if you guys could do something about it, because I can't physically personally do this. But I understand that possibly my presence being just in this area and them knowing about me probably helped this hamster out a little bit. This hamster might not have been in the worst off shape, but again, I don't know the situation and I'm not going to share what I think actually might have happened just out of the respect of the family surrendering the hamster to me. So I am sorry that I had to rename little Wilson here. He just didn't connect with me, that name, and I understand it was on a personal level with the person surrendering, but my mom and I decided on a really cute name and we love the name Ash. Whether it be a girl's name or a boy's name, I love the name Ash because one, Ash Ketchum has the hair color sort of Ash, as well as just reminded me a little bit of a young Ash because I grew up with Pokemon and my mom got me into Pokemon in 1998 when it first came to America. I watched all the episodes, I was really in love, so it has kind of a place in my heart. So they thought he was a male and it does look like he's a male. He was really squirmy and he is very young still, so I saw what I thought was a ball sack area down below there and not any sort of nipples. So hopefully my sexting was correct, but I will check again at a later time. I just brought him home tonight. I had time for him to settle in, and so I'm just sharing with you now his story, which I know possibly might be a little short, but sometimes stories don't really need to go into long details unless it's like a really big or bad situation that I wish to share with you guys. I know that you guys like to see positivity, and I do too, but sometimes when it comes to a very neglectful situation, sharing provides more information and provides people kind of clarifying where a hamster came from. There are several hamsters I have yet to introduce to this channel because they had very bad backstories, and I've been debating whether or not I want to keep sharing negative backstories or if I want to share them to encourage people that hamsters out there like this hamster need saving. Recently, we lost one that was only with us for 3 weeks and her name was Yona. I renamed her Yona, but she had a different name, and I really want to share with you guys that story here on YouTube because I shared with it on Instagram, my foster home's Instagram page, because it was so important, because lack of nutrition equals the hamster's life not being well taken care of, which equals death and or a terrible ending, which was upsetting because oh gosh, I'm getting way off topic here. I will be hopefully talking to you guys about all the surrender stories. It's just with the amount of hamster intakes and for the amount of videos I would have to produce and or to get out and or make and or feel like making without losing my voice here, it has been a lot. So I'm sorry if I'm introducing hamsters out of sync. I have even introduced Smokey, who already got adopted. Thank you guys for at least checking out this story. And like I always say before, make sure to check out Instagram because that is where you get new details about new hamster intakes, adoptions, all that jazz, and medical updates. Like for instance, Suki and Sushi. Suki, unfortunately, I feel like I'm going to have to keep her permanently because she keeps having a condition that seems like she is in pain and then she is fine and then she's in pain and then she is fine and then she's not doing well and then she's fine, and it gets so confusing. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Suki, do you want to stay here permanently or do you want to go off to your forever home? While her sister definitely is showing signs of aging with hair loss. It's just a hormone imbalance, most likely due to the aging process, and she's completely fine. And she is awaiting somebody to adopt her and become her forever home. So there's just so many hamsters that need updates. Even the ones that are currently still here need updates, so you know what's happening. Like for instance, Bon Bon. Bon Bon, no, is not pregnant, but we found out why she was so big before and what was going on. I need to share those, so I'm sorry, and I hope you guys will look forward to updated videos in the future when I have time and when I can just sit down and film them all without having to do double takes, interruptions, my voice is dying, cars outside honking, things like that. So I hope you appreciate these videos, and if you do, hit like to show support, comment down below with anything you'd like to say about Ash here today, and subscribe if you're new here and would like to become a part of the Munchkin family, and I hope to see you in the next upcoming videos. Thank you for your support. Bye-bye!